Oh, I love the smell of coffee in the morning. That's right, it's time for What Flick Will Pauly Pick. Oh, yes, baby. Hey everyone, Big Pauly back for a brand new episode of What Flick Will Pauly Pick. Oh yes, this week's is 54% a winner. Yes, 54% of the vote wanted me to watch Apocalypse Now. Yes, quite a long film, I believe, 3 hours. Wow. And this is a film I've never seen in my life, so it's going to be a little bit special, like me. This is the 4K. I've decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch the 1080p in the cinema room because it's got a Dolby Atmos soundtrack. So I want to get a full immersive feeling of the Dolby Atmos, helicopters flying above me and all that kind of stuff. Then I'll review the 4K presentation on the 4K player and the TV downstairs. So let's get the wrapping off. Let's get the disc into the player. And let's watch Apocalypse Now for the first time ever.
What Flick Will Pauly Pick?
Okay, so we have a really nice glossy slip. Really nice. Fantastic. Let's put that down safely so it don't fall on the floor. And then we have the actual Blu-ray case itself, or the 4K case itself. Nice black one. Open it up and we have, oh, how many discs we got? 3 discs. Okay, so what have we got? We have the Blu-ray final cut. The Heart of Darkness, or Hearts of Darkness, that's the documentary. And then we have the 4K. I'd love to see the 4K in here with Dolby Atmos. Maybe one day when I get a 4K projector. But for now, we're going to watch the Blu-ray so that I can get the Dolby Atmos. And like I said, I'll review the 4K presentation a little bit later on. Okie dokie, let's stick it in the player. Open up. No, we don't want to hear from you today, mate. Oh, look. We've still got another Mayans disc in here, which I'm still watching. Okay. Here we go then. Ooh, baby. I love the sound of Dolby Atmos in the morning. Okay, let's play the film. About 3 hours later. Okay, so Apocalypse Now final cut. Yes, I did look up the runtime. Apparently, I think the theatrical version is 2 hours and 27 minutes, whereas the final cut is like 3 hours and 3 minutes. So it's clearly more than an extra half an hour. Now, having not seen the original cut, I don't know what extra footage has been added. So if anybody knows what extra footage was added, please let me know down below. But as for the film itself, I would say that this is near movie perfection. Almost. There was just so much in this that grabbed me. So far as war films are concerned, Saving Private Ryan will always be my favourite. This is a different type of war film. It's not so in your face, although we do get the big action set pieces, especially when Robert Duvall comes along. He's like an explosion magnet. Yes, but the film stars a whole host of actors. We have Martin Sheen, not Charlie Sheen, because this is more than 40 years old now. So I think it was 1979. So we have Martin Sheen, Robert Duvall, absolutely fantastic. We have Marlon Brando, who gets top billing like he did in Superman, even though he's not in it that for that long. You also get a 10-year-old Harrison Ford and a 5-year-old Lawrence Fishburne. Looks like they've just come out of play school, but very young and very interesting. Harrison Ford doesn't get as much screen time as Lawrence Fishburne, but both interesting characters. We also get Dennis Hopper, clearly advertising Kodak of the time, although if it was made now, all he'd have was probably an iPhone, and that'd be about it. But yes, what's the story then? Okay, the story revolves around Captain Willard, played by Martin Sheen, who's given a task in the Vietnam War to take a mission upriver through the Viet Cong into Cambodia to eliminate this rogue colonel, played by Marlon Brando, who's just basically gone off the rails. He's a highly praised, military colonel, medals galore, one of the best, but he's just gone nuts and has just isolated himself in Cambodia. So Captain Willard sets off, meets loads of characters along the way. As I say, Robert Duvall. We get the famous scene with the helicopters. A whole, probably half an hour of one of the most intense battle scenes. That whole battle scene is probably the equivalent of Private Ryan's opening beach scene, so far as visuals and action. And of course we get the famous tagline, "I love the smell of napalm in the morning." Funny thing though, because my viewing experience was enhanced because I had the window open in the room here. Somebody either up the road or down the road was actually having a barbecue using petrol, not charcoal. And when they dropped the bomb with the napalm, it's like 4D. It enhanced my experience, which was really clever. So Captain Willard gets himself a boat along with a load of soldiers, and they patrol up the river right up through to Cambodia, get into some scrapes along the way. The visuals are stunning. The cinematography is some of the best cinematography ever. There was even a scene in, I believe it was The Force Awakens, with the TIE fighters flying towards you with the sun background. I think that was a nod to Apocalypse Now. And just everything about it was great. The acting was superb, and it's just a really great action film. Martin Sheen's character does narrate throughout the film. He's given a lot of paperwork to read up on and to study as he makes this journey up through the river and gets to know this Colonel Kurtz, and his history, his backstory. Then of course later on in the film we get to actually meet Colonel Kurtz as well. So visually stunning, cinematography amazing, acting first rate. There's not a single actor in this film that is anything less than perfect. Robert Duvall was probably the best I've ever seen him in a film. So what about the visuals and the audio? Right, okay, now I did watch the film in the standard Blu-ray, which did have a layer of grain throughout the film, not all the time. The dark areas on the screen were black. It looked a little bit soft at times. It was still a really good clear image for being like 40 years old. But it was the audio. It was the audio that really shone on this presentation. The Dolby Atmos soundtrack is like reference quality. When they were walking through the jungle, and there was like insects or mosquitoes flying about, it felt like I was actually in the jungle. Just all everywhere, all around the room. It's like the whole room was full up. There was 3 instances through the film where I jumped because I wasn't expecting it, which kept me on the edge of my seat. The battle scenes were intense. The explosions had lots of bass in it. The napalm drop, the subwoofer was in overtime, machine guns, and even in the scenes when it was raining in the jungle, the Atmos track, I just had rain all over me. I was expecting to actually get up and I'd be soaking wet, but it was a fantastic use of a Dolby Atmos soundtrack, and they just pushed it as much as they could to a really great experience for a 40-year-old film. Oh dear. Right, okay, so I've just tested out the 4K in various scenes. The 4K is a definite improvement over the Blu-ray. Definite improvement. There's lots more darker blacks. There's lots more in the shadow effects. It's really solid black. Facial features, you can notice more facial features. The grass, you know, the forest, leaves and trees and things like that stand out a lot more, especially with the colours. And the darker scenes are easier to see, so you can see more detail in the darker scenes for the 4K. So I would definitely go for the 4K. I will watch it again with full 4K because now I know what the Atmos soundtrack's like. I just want to see what the whole film looks like in 4K. But I did go through quite a few chapters, and the detailing on the face and the paws, stubble, things like that just really stood out. Whereas on the Blu-ray, it was kind of a soft shaven effect. So yes, I would definitely go with the 4K. Okay, so extras on the film. We do get quite a lot of extras. We do get disc 3, which is the Hearts of Darkness, a filmmaker's apocalypse and special features Blu-ray. So I believe the Hearts of Darkness single disc, I believe, was in Poundland once. But it's great that it's included in this package. You also get a final cut intro by Francis Ford Coppola, Tribeca Film Festival Q&A with Francis Ford Coppola and Steven Soderbergh, a super 8mm behind the scenes footage, Apocalypse Now remastering a legend in Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos, Apocalypse Now a 40-year journey, Dutch angle, Chaz Gerritsen and Apocalypse Now. So a whole host of special features in that bar there that will keep you really interested. Yes, and it's 183 minutes, which is 3 hours and 3 minutes long. So more than half an hour over the original release. And as I say, it's Dolby Atmos and it's region free. All regions, obviously for the actual 4K. The standard Blu-ray does actually say B, so I don't know if it's been tested, but you may not be able to play the Blu-ray, but really you pick that up for the 4K. He says watching the Blu-ray. So yes, so really good. Had a great time with it. 3 hours just went by, no boring moments, no slow moments. Invested in the characters, great action. Can't say anything more positive about it. I probably can, but I'll probably be here all night. But yeah, total blast. Okay, so how would I rate it? On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give Apocalypse Now final cut 9.5 napalm bombs. Yes. I would have given it a little bit less if it had been the Blu-ray picture quality only. But because I've tested out the 4K, I know what the 4K picture quality is going to be like. And I know that tied with the Atmos soundtrack. That's a great package. A great package for a great film. So yes, 9.5 napalm bombs. Okay, so that's Apocalypse done. And we better put this in the pot. I do have one more to put back in the pot. And we'll pick the next 5. Okay, so Apocalypse Now is in the done pot. All of the other 4 have gone back in the pot. I've got 1 to put in, Hotel Transylvania, which is all 3 films. So let me fold that up, put it in, and give the tin a good shake. Okay, so let's pick out the next 5 then. Oh, dear me. Okay, that's had a good old shake about. Righty-o. Right. Here we go. Excuse the cut on my arm. I've been picking it. Naughty boy. Right, first one. Iron Sky 2. Oh, dear. Adolf Hitler riding a T-Rex. Next up, we have... Next up, what have we got? What is this? Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Okay. I haven't seen the first one, but I suppose I can watch the second one. Or actually, I might actually watch both of them. What we got next? The Rover. Okay. I think that's Robert Pattinson, I think. And Guy Pearce, maybe. Something right down the bottom. Oh God, I've got about 5 here. Oh God. That's it. Farmageddon. Okay. So we got 1 more to go. What is it gonna be? 2 there. What's this one? Come to Daddy again. Brilliant. Okay, so the next lot of choices is Come to Daddy, Farmageddon, Iron Sky 2, The Rover, and Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Welcome to the Jungle. Is that the first one? That's the first one? Yes, that's the first one. Okay, so that's pretty good. No, I didn't pick out the second one. Brilliant. Okay, so they are the choices. Brilliant. So I hope you enjoyed this week's What Flick Will Pauly Pick. I certainly did. Absolute corker this week. Fantastic. Good choice, people. Good choice. Yes. Next one will be in a couple of days. So I'll try and get that one done in a couple of days. Up here, blah, 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 this tickled the eye. Pardon. Pull down the eye. And you'll find the choices that you can actually vote. Oh God, that hurt. So decide which one you want me to watch, and we'll see that in a couple of days. Brilliant. So hope you enjoyed the video. Like it by giving it some thumbs up and a really hurting eye now. And don't forget to subscribe, comment and share, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.